Disclaimer. This is not how Homelander will die in the TV series, so this is a spoiler-free video. You will understand why I know it won't be the same when you finish the video. And also, Sitwell is the TV series Stan Edgar. Huey and Butcher are on their way to Washington, D.C. Butcher is instructing Mother's Milk to release all their documents and files about Homelander, and all the other heroes to destroy their public image completely. As they fly, Huey reads some of the leaked documents. He is clearly disturbed by what he sees. It includes Stormfront being a Nazi, Homelander eating a baby, and leaked nudes of Queen Maeve. Homelander appears outside Stillwell's office. Sitwell is the Vought CEO in the comics. Stillwell attempts to open the window but finds it stuck. He casually suggests that Homelander will have to smash his way in. At this very moment, the military is already preparing the aircraft with special rockets to be ready to deploy at a moment's notice. Unfazed by Homelander's presence, Stillwell tells security to stand down. Homelander comments that there's nothing they could do to help Stillwell anyway. Homelander knows that Vought is already growing a new, more obedient version of him. Homelander is intrigued by Stillwell's calm heart rate, even in the face of imminent death. Stillwell dismisses Homelander's actions as petty and embarrassing, stating that he's relieved he won't be alive to see any more of it. Stillwell even offers to jump out of the window himself to save Homelander the trouble. Homelander thinks that Stillwell is trying to impress him, but Stillwell just knows that Homelander may be powerful, but deep down he is just a stupid kid. Meanwhile, Butcher and Huey arrive in Washington, D.C., accompanied by Marines. Colonel John informs Butcher that he has been instructed to hand over operational control to him. Butcher now commands a small army. They move closer to the White House gates. The sky is filled with hovering superheroes. The Colonel inquires about Homelander's whereabouts, learning that he had arrived at the Oval Office about 20 minutes ago and hasn't been seen since. Butcher assesses the situation. The ground forces of the superheroes are at the Pentagon, while the flying ones are at the White House. He decides it's best not to split their forces. The Colonel agrees, stating that whatever happens next will be decided at this location. As dawn breaks, the Air Force planes are poised to strike, waiting for the sun to rise to minimize civilian casualties. Butcher and Huey sipping coffee and contemplate the gravity of the situation. Butcher instructs the Colonel on how to best kill the Supes. He finishes his coffee, grabs his crowbar, and announces his intention to confront Homelander inside the White House. Huey insists on going with him, but Butcher refuses, instructing the Marines to shoot Huey in the kneecaps if he attempts to follow. Mother's Milk is trying to contact Huey by phone, asking for an update and specifically asking about BlackNoir. Huey reports that he hasn't seen or heard anything about him. Mother's Milk ominously warns that Butcher might not be prepared for what he'll find in the White House, hinting that the real enemy might be someone else entirely. It's morning, and fighter jets have been dispatched. There are 100 aircraft equipped with special bombs ready to kill all superheroes on sight. Inside the Oval Office, Butcher is looking at Homelander sitting behind the desk holding the decapitated head of the president. Homelander flings the decapitated head at Butcher, who asks if that is a dickhole at the back of it. Homelander retorts that he's not trying to impress anyone. He believes the world is his birthright, and he alone has the power to claim it. The conversation takes a dark turn as Butcher brings up his wife and what Homelander did to her. In the doorway, we see BlackNoir. Observing the confrontation in the White House, Homelander confronts Butcher, claiming he doesn't remember anything about Butcher's wife. He thanks Butcher for releasing those incriminating photos, stating that there's no turning back for him now. Butcher, incredulous, attempts to strike Homelander with a crowbar, only to be laughed at. Just then, BlackNoir enters the room, getting a surprised reaction from Homelander. He explains that BlackNoir was created for the sole purpose of killing Homelander, should the need arise. However, BlackNoir grew resentful of his inability to fulfill his mission, leading him to send the incriminating photos of Homelander to TheBoys. His hope was that TheBoys would forward these photos to Vought, forcing the corporation to finally issue the kill order on Homelander. According to Mother's Milk, Vought had considered using BlackNoir to eliminate Homelander when they first received the photos but decided against it. This left BlackNoir in a state of limbo, fueling his resentment and possibly driving him to madness. He theorizes that BlackNoir's actions were a desperate attempt to force Vaught's hand, to finally be given the order to kill his target, Homelander. BlackNoir removes his mask to reveal that he is Homelander's identical twin. He confesses to having committed the heinous acts while wearing Homelander's suit, including the ones captured in the incriminating photos. BlackNoir explains that he was created to kill Homelander, but was never given the order. Frustrated and desperate, he took matters into his own hands, committing atrocities to force Vought to issue the kill order. When that didn't work, he sent the photos to TheBoys, hoping they would expose Homelander and trigger his own mission. Homelander had always believed he was the one in those photos, and that he was responsible for the terrible acts, including what happened to Butcher's wife. This belief had led him to embrace his darker urges, thinking he was already damned. Now he realizes he went rogue based on a lie. Homelander begins to question his own actions, wondering if he might have turned out differently had he known the truth. Butcher, however, is unimpressed. He points out that Homelander became a psychopath by mistake, suggesting that the revelation doesn't absolve him of his actions. Meanwhile, fighter jets equipped with special missiles that target Compound 5 successfully eliminate the superpowered individuals hovering over the White House and the Pentagon. Inside the White House, Homelander and BlackNoir engage in a brutal fight, while Butcher gets out the way so he doesn't get lasered in half. He gets to the soldiers and gets them ready to attack when BlackNoir and Homelander finish fighting. Superheroes are still getting butchered, eliminating all future threats of having anyone turn out like Homelander. BlackNoir comes out victorious, holding Homelander's mutilated torso. Butcher, along with hundreds of soldiers, opens fire on BlackNoir, who despite being heavily injured continues to crawl forward. He is finally stopped with thousands of rounds and rockets. Butcher comes up to him and he then uses a crowbar to open up BlackNoir's skull. Holding a piece of BlackNoir's brain, Butcher believes he's holding the memory of the night BlackNoir ruined his life. He crushes the brain and BlackNoir finally dies. Meanwhile, the military debates whether to take any surviving superpowered individuals at the Pentagon as prisoners. Butcher, now alone on the field, is approached by Huey. Butcher asks for a moment alone and reflects on his actions, realizing that his late wife Becky would have disapproved of the path he's taken. Filled with regret, he mourns the life he's led, acknowledging that it's not what Becky would have wanted. We still haven't received an official release date for the new The Boys 4th season. It is rumored to be out at the end of 2023. Also rumored is the new cast member Jeffrey Morgan as the superhero Tech Knight. If you are interested in The Boys comics, feel free to check the links in the description. Thanks again for watching.